Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Jahan, what I need? What's the system?
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Check.
What's that?
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
From the 45 on second down, Cousins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
29.
Here's Carr. Being chased out left. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Hey, Steamer.
Check 99. Check 99.
Black.
Following the interception, Cousins, and it's caught. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
It's a gain of 11.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. This is caught. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
A 6-yard gain brings up 3rd and goal.
Definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10.
Watch the twins.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Ham, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
That's the score, Vikings 7, Raiders 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
It's a gain of 10.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Carr going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At 25 the mic. We're going 25 the mic. Double dog.
Gun. Leave it. Bring up 48.
From the 29, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at their 49-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Gun. Yellow.
At 25 the mic. We're going 25 the mic.
Buzz.
At 25 the mic. We're going 25 the mic. We don't want this.
Throwing is Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Where's the hot?
25 the mic. We're going 25 the mic.
Hey, receiver.
Yes, it is. At 25 the mic.
Hey, Cam.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Slam.
Listen to me. Hey, Delta. Lucky pitches.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line.
It's a gain of 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line. Back to the ground, Cook. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 5. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Raiders nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Right there.
Carr now on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs, but it's going to be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Check, check. Block 54. Block 54.
Express.
Big series right here.
Right Monday down. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Express. Hey, high 7.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Hey, keep it up.
Through.
Tighten up, tighten up.
One side.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Wide.
At 25 to Mike. We go 20.
Lean on 48. One side.
You ready? At 25 to Mike. We go 25 to Mike. Watch this.
One side. Hard.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. It's complete to Diggs. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Ringo 48.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Check 3.
Gun.
You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
Cousins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call.
3 down.
Wait, John.
24 is the mic. Bring it.
Go ahead.
24 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Wait, John.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
Bravo.
To throw his car. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Running from the shotgun with Madison. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
What we got? Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. Rush in.
Hey, can. Clark.
You got tight right there.
Wait, hot. Wait, hot.
From the 38, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Hot.
Here's Madison. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Gun. Two.
24 is the mic. Here we go, D. Get off the field. 24 is the mic.
Hey, flipper.
Switch it.
Switch it.
First. 24 is the mic.
I'm trying to collect.
24 is the mic.
Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down.
132 fighter.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brings up second and 8 at the 11-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Watch 54. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
734.
Check 26. Check 26. Mike spot 4.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot here before half for Carr. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Hey, Charlie.
54. Rip right. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4.
Throwing on second and 14. Carr. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8-ball.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 34. If they're going to try to complete this comeback, they need more runs like that from him because until that point, he's been virtually shut down.
And based on where they are right now in this game, you would expect the ball to be in the air. But his ability to break off those types of runs, you can get big chunk plays on the ground as well. And he just provided one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver Thielen. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Inside give to Ham, the fullback. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal?
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Undercrush, undercrush.
Quaker Omaha. X3, 218, chop.
They'll try to run with Madison, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Next to score, Vikings 21, Raiders nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And that will be incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time,
it's caught inside the 25. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 43 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, They are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with the defender right there. Cousins on first down. And Diggs has it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Gun.
Stay at home. Stay at home. Stay at home.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
On third down, they run with Madison. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Three-quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Dan Bailey on for the field goal, a 30-yard attempt.
Bailey's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephen Weatherly. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Here's Carr to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
First down.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
33-yard line.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense. And who we got? Watch twins. Watch twins.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Carr gives to Richard. Richard lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play.
2nd and 6 at the 21-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. General West. Get that quarterback. Check 37.
Going to run with Madison again. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Haywood.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it with Madison. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, and now movement and a whistle. And they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
61, matchbox lights.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. 59, 9.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Go Chiefs. 54, Mike, 54.
You draw quarters.
Hey, Raider 2.
Hey, Wahoo!
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw, and he's taken down inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
And now he's going to use his legs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
54, Mike. White. Man up, D. Alert flare.
Topper.
Purdue. Mike, 54.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr flushed out right. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Throwing now is Carr. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Check 43.
Going on the ground with Madison. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Vikings, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.